Hi guys, today we are going to find the greatest common factor of a polynomial. So let's say I have 2x plus 4y. Alright, and I am looking for the greatest common factor. So what that means is, what can I divide both of these by? Well, I can divide them both by 2. So my greatest common factor of this polynomial is 2. Alright, so here I have 2x squared plus x, and I want to know what is the greatest common factor of this polynomial. So what can I divide them both by? Well, I notice that they both have x's, so I can divide them both by x. So that means that my greatest common factor is x. Well, here I have 3x squared plus 7x to the 5th. All right, so what can I divide them both by? Well, I notice that they both have an x, but my first term here has an x squared. And this one here has an x to the 5th. Well, you always are able to factor out the lowest exponent if you have similar bases. So my greatest common factor for this one then would be x to the 2nd power, or x squared. Here I have 8x plus 12x squared. All right, so what can I divide them both by? Well, if I look at my coefficients here, I have an 8 and a 12. I can divide both of those by 4. That's the biggest number that I can divide them both by. Be mindful to always try to divide by the biggest number you can. I could divide them both by 2, but that's not the greatest or the biggest number I can do. Now I notice that they both have an x, and this here is x to the 1st power. So I don't have any other exponent than x to the 1st power. So I can stop there, and my greatest common factor is 4x. Let's say I have 8x squared plus 10x minus 4x to the 3rd. Well, what can I divide all of them by? Well, 8, 10, and 4 are all even numbers, so I can divide them all by 2. And then each of my terms here has an x. And you can always divide by whatever the lowest power of x is. So I notice here I have x to the 1st power, so I can divide by x to the 1st power, and that's what I have here. So my greatest common factor is 2x. And that's how you find the greatest common factor of a polynomial.